Imagine a friend who is always there for you. When you are stressed, they are the first ones to calm you down. But in exchange for this loyalty, they are slowly poisoning you. You know this. You see the warning labels. But when you try to leave this friend, your brain panics. It doesn't panic because it's scared of the poison. It panics because it feels like it is losing a partner. This is the paradox of smoking. Ask any long-term smoker, and they will tell you, they aren't chasing a high. They are chasing a feeling of normalcy. Today on the inner map, we are going to visualize the nicotine trap and the hidden brain regions that trick you. To understand how this trap was built, we have to go back to the man who gave the addiction its name. The year is 1560. The French ambassador to Portugal is a man named Jean Nicot. At this time, tobacco was a new, mysterious plant from the Americas. It wasn't seen as a recreational drug, it was seen as a miracle. Jean Nicot was convinced that this plant could cure almost anything. Back in Paris, the most powerful woman in France, Queen Catherine de Medici, was suffering from crippling migraines. Jean Nicot sent her a package of powdered tobacco leaves. It worked. The Queen's headaches vanished. She was so thrilled that she declared tobacco a royal herb. It became an instant sensation across the French court. Jean Nicot was hailed as a hero, and in his honor, the plant's active ingredient was named nicotine. Think about the irony. The substance that would go on to kill hundreds of millions was introduced to the modern world as the ultimate medicine. So, how does this chemical trick the brain so effectively? It starts with a case of molecular identity theft. Your brain runs on neurotransmitters, chemical keys that unlock specific doors. One of the most important keys is called acetylcholine. Enter nicotine. By a cruel twist of evolutionary biology, the nicotine molecule is shaped almost exactly like acetylcholine. It is a master key. When you inhale cigarette smoke, nicotine rushes to your brain in less than 10 seconds. It finds the acetylcholine receptors and forces them open. It overstimulates the receptor. It's like an imposter pilot who storms into the cockpit, throws the real pilot out, and jams the throttle to maximum speed. To protect itself from this overstimulation, the brain does something tragic. It removes the locks. It physically pulls the receptors inside the cell to hide them. This is the moment the trap snaps shut. Without the cigarette, you can't focus. You feel foggy. This explains the focus. But it doesn't explain the timing. Why is it that, almost exactly 1 hour after your last cigarette, you start to feel the itch? It comes down to the half-life. Nicotine has a very short half-life, approximately 2 hours. Within 30 to 60 minutes, the nicotine levels in your blood begin to dip below the comfort zone. Remember those hidden receptors? As the nicotine leaves, those receptors start to wake up. They start screaming for stimulation. This creates a subtle, background anxiety. It's not a physical pain, it's a mental itch. It's a feeling that something is wrong. You check your pockets. You look at the clock. You start to get irritable. The only thing that stops the clock is the next dose. This biological timer turns your life into a series of 16-minute windows. You aren't living a continuous life. You are living in the gaps between withdrawals. You aren't smoking to get high. You are smoking to feel normal. But the trap goes deeper than chemistry. It goes into emotion. Many smokers say that cigarettes are their best friend. Why does a chemical feel like a person? The answer lies in a part of the brain called the insula. The insula is the map reader of your body. It tells you what you are feeling inside: hunger, cold, pain, and emotional distress. When you are heartbroken, lonely, or anxious, your insula lights up. It tells you that your internal world is not okay. Nicotine has a direct hotline to the insula. When you take a puff, the chemical hijack releases a flood of dopamine. But it also calms the insula. It creates a synthetic feeling of everything is okay. If you smoke every time you feel lonely, your brain physically rewires itself. It connects the loneliness circuit to the smoking circuit. The cigarette becomes your primary emotional support system. It is the only thing that never judges you, never leaves you. This is why quitting feels like a breakup. You aren't just giving up a habit. You are grieving the loss of your closest emotional partner. We have visualized the mechanism. When you put these layers together, the friend mask falls off. A friend adds value to your life. Nicotine does the opposite. It creates a problem, and then sells you the solution. The relief you feel when you smoke? That isn't joy. That is the feeling of the parasite momentarily stepping off your neck. The focus you feel? That is just your brain returning to the baseline that non-smokers feel all the time. Jean Nicot thought he had found a panacea, but he had actually discovered the perfect trap. A trap that locks the doors from the inside. A trap that wears the face of a friend. Understanding this mechanism is the first step in dismantling it. You can't fight an enemy you can't see. And now, thanks to the inner map, you can see it. The craving you feel in an hour? That isn't you wanting a smoke. That is the chemical timer ticking down. That is the monster dying. What is the one situation where you feel the strongest urge to smoke? Let me know in the comments below.